Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where I think the time has come. We need to go back to war properly and not just be stuck in this tiny little war in the middle of Germany that we can't reach. I have a sneaking suspicion that we're not going to be able to launch paratroopers off of our aircraft carrier. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm also unwilling to wait the amount of time to get out of this war. So I think what we should do is we should start focusing on bringing down one of the big boys. And which big boy do we want to bring down? Well, the obvious choice here is France. We have a border with France right over here. And if we take a look at them, they are communist, which means it's unlikely that either Great Britain, who is democratic, or the US, who is also technically democratic, would ever end up intervening in that war. So that is great. We would prefer that they do not. It's going to be difficult for us to get to the US at this point. We could probably get to Britain, but it would be more challenging. So I want to work on France. And if we take a look at who France's dominions are at this point, they've got Oldenburg, they've got Tahiti, they've got French Senegal, and they've got French South Africa. That's not all that much, to be honest. They've got these holdings in North Africa that I don't expect there to be too much to do with. So we can start thinking about where we want to do naval invasions, right? Naval invasion number 1 would, in my opinion, be launching from somewhere up here where there currently is not a naval base. We may want to construct one just for that purpose, somewhere around here. We'll get going on that. So we'll construct one about there, and we would launch this into Hanover. The second naval invasion would probably... I'm thinking not in North Africa. I'm thinking the second naval invasion would wait until after France falls, to be honest. So what we would need to do is we would need to get these guys all brought up, right? We're going to right-click to delete all orders from this army, and we're going to tell them to come frontline over here. We're going to tell these guys to come frontline over here as well. Now, we may have some supply issues out over this way. That is very possible. We know that this railway hasn't been fully brought up to code, so that is reasonably fine. I do want to move up all of the railway up to the absolute top. So we're going to come over to here, and we're going to bump up all of the railway upgrades. Railway upgrades go pretty quick, and we should be able to get these done reasonably quickly. This will also be a bunch of Brazilian upgrades and other South American upgrades, but I want to get all of these completed as a relatively high priority. It's not the highest of priorities, though. Now, I want to check in over here. Is any of these anti-air guns... No, the anti-air guns are not in Spain here, so that's fine. Absolutely okay. We're going to be preparing fairly heavily for this. We do need to move these guys up. This is all like China. That's okay. It will take a while to work through this. This is not going to be our highest of highest priorities. I just want to move these up for the moment. There's definitely a lot here, like that 144 one there. That'll be a while. Okay, that is okay. I just want to get all these moved up, right? So that's absolutely fine. We will move through these relatively quickly. I wish we could do this just like on what type of building they are. That would be ideal. But the next thing that I want to do is I want to elevate the land forts on our front with France so that we at least have a fallback line there. So I want to have those be at top priority after we get through all of this. This is taking a little longer than I anticipated. Yeah, there's a lot of these. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Okay, let's come back to this later. That'll be okay. I want to move up through here. This is all of this Chinese stuff, right? And what I'm really interested in seeing... We simply haven't queued this. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I'm going to queue these right up here at the top then. So we're going to upgrade all of these. I want these to be the absolute top priority, except for the land forts. So we need to get all of this built up so that we have optimal supply transfer over to our army that is going to fight in France. We're going to need to set up some naval blockades as well. And that'll be good. This is over in Portugal. That's absolutely fine. We can get those upgraded as well. So all of these upgrades are going to be good. We're just preparing very, very heavily for this invasion of France. And to that end, I kind of want to get started on building some supply depots up over there as well. There's a decent number out over here, but I want to build a supply depot here. I want to build a supply hub here, a supply hub here. Actually, not here. Here, and a supply hub here. Okay, now I want to get rid of our land forts here. This is going to be the easiest way to do it, is to just unqueue these. And then I'm going to requeue them at the top of the queue. This will be the fastest way to do that for sure. So we're going to get rid of those, and now we're going to shift-click to place this, in theory, at the top of the queue. Shift-control-click. Yes. Perfect. So we're going to get these all constructed, and that should be a fantastic fallback line for us. So this way, if we fail to push in, we can at least create a stalemate. Perfect. So something along the lines of that. Next, of course, we're going to have to justify on France, and this is going to be a lot of world tension. That's fine. I actually looked at the US over here, and turns out, if we look at invite to faction here, they still have neutral foreign policy. That is really good for us. So we can hopefully crush the French and then the British separately. That's the hope. Now, we're going to need to tick forward a little bit. I'm going to bring it off of speed 5, and we're going to start getting our navies set up here. So I want these guys to move out into a separate naval force for the time being. We've got this, which I'm going to make into another separate naval force. Okay. So I'm going to delete all regions for this fleet. We're going to tell them to come patrol down over here. These guys are going to remove their region. They're going to come patrol over here. We just want to have, well, actually maybe not here. Now that I think about it, it should be here. Okay. These guys are going to make their way up over here in the English Channel. And that'll give us all of this, right? I want these to be patrolling here, which is going to give us, and we're going to need to remove those regions, patrol up over here. That's going to give us the ability to do this invasion into Oldenburg, and that'll be absolutely fine. No problem there. So that gets us France pretty much surrounded. Now, they still have access here, and they have this these North African holdings, right? So I do want to move these guys. No regions to remove? Okay. I want to move them over to the Tyrrhenian Sea. And for now, I want to have these over in the central Mediterranean. So they're going to have some free reign out over here. That's understood. We'll get to that. We're mostly concerned about mainland France here. So that looks great. So let's get going on moving our troops into position here. And we will arrive here in the eventual times. But I'm guessing we're going to be able to punch through this relatively easily, in theory. So I want to have these guys set up to simply offensive line all the way on the other side of France. That offensive line alone, and they can get going on that as soon as they're ready. That offensive line alone would cause the capitulation of France, I'm fairly certain. Assuming that we are able to punch through this, which is potentially a big assumption. How strong is France? That's something I should determine. Let's see here. They have 109 to 132 military factories. They have fielded around 1.17 to 2.34 million manpower. Okay. That seems reasonable. We way outproduce them, that's for sure. So we should be able to just crush them economically, if nothing else. We'll see how this goes. Absolutely. I would love to get a leader here. I don't think that we can. Correct, we cannot. That is very sad. This leader is not possible. However, I want to check up over here. When is this naval base actually being worked on? No, it isn't, is it? Okay, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to unqueue this, and I'm going to requeue it at the top of the queue. Did that go? There we go. Now I think it went. Yes, the queue is a problem. No doubt about it. But that's okay for now. Let's go to the top of the queue. Yes, this is going now. So that looks good. I want that to be completed so that we can plan our invasion of Oldenburg, right? We're currently justifying here, and it is going to take some amount of time to get that done. Only 55 days? I expected it to be more than that. Beautiful. Okay, so that seems fine. We're absolutely A-okay with that one. We are going to potentially need to wait a little bit before all of our troops are in position here, though, right? So we've got a fair amount of units that are on their way over here still. I'm not even sure where these guys are. Oh, they're still over here. Get out of here. You guys are supposed to be assigned to this order. Get over here. Fantastic. Let's see how our infantry are doing. I think our infantry are pretty much all there at this point. So that looks good. Where are those supply hubs at? They are underneath all of this, aren't they? Okay. Sure, that's going to be a bit problematic. We should probably requeue those up at the top. So I'm going to, if we can get over here, do exactly that. We're just going to do this. Then we're going to do this. Then we're going to do this. It's very tedious, very laggy over here. No doubt about that. And then we're going to do this. We have managed to get a number of land fort levels done over here, which is fantastic. I want to move this up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, we have 5 levels of land fort done already. That's looking really, really good. So very, very solid there. What do we have here? This is an armored division. That will go into our reserve. Beautiful. Okay, so when are our tanks going to arrive over here? This is a question that we need the answer to. They are on their way, but they are not arrived yet by any means. Okay. So that looks reasonably fine. Now, presumably we control the seas over here. The question is, will that continue to be the case once this starts? How strong is France's navy? That's an interesting question. Speaking of which, we should probably be upgrading our intelligence agency. We'll get going on that. That seems reasonably fine. So these guys will arrive over here eventually. We're probably going to need to wait to declare this actual war until they show up. It's going to be a little bit yet. And we only have 55 total days on this justification, right? So it's only 16 more days from here. They're probably going to be almost in position by then, is my understanding, my assumption here. So that'll be fine, but this invasion of France is absolutely something that we want to get done. If France falls without Britain or the US intervening in the war, what if someone like Austria intervenes in the war? Would they? They're not aligned. Probably not. I wouldn't expect them to. I would like Austria to fall eventually, but for the time being, we're more interested in picking off the big boys while we can. And that will be absolutely phenomenal. We can see our tanks creeping in over here. That looks great. And we should, at this point, be preparing a naval invasion from here to here. So we're going to get in over there, and that'll go as soon as that's ready. That's not going to be ready for 75 days, so that is absolutely fine. Cool. So taking a look at what we've got going on here, these supply hubs are not going to be done in time. That is understood. That's not surprising in any meaningful way. However, these land forts are considerably built up, and France has not built up land forts. So that's very, very interesting indeed. We can see the balance of power looks a little awkward right now. The enemy forces are apparently stronger. I'm not sure if I believe that, though. Our forces are still getting into position here. Now, supplies are going to be a little bit grim. And our justification is now completed. Our forces are just about in position. Let's let them enter position here and recover their organization a bit. Just waiting on these tanks to recover their organization. Okay, I think we're ready to declare this. So let's declare that. And in we go, in theory. Excellent. This is looking really good across the board. So they called in French Senegal. That was expected. I would have expected them to call in a few more. Oldenburg. Yep, there we go. And everybody wants to join our war, of course. And we definitely should do that. Everybody can come on in that is in the faction. Portugal wants to join. The Ottomans want to join. Everybody wants to join. And that is absolutely fantastic. We can actually invite Netherlands into our faction at this point. Fascinating. They have a border with Oldenburg. Okay. I'm going to invite them to the faction. They're going to join. And now I want these guys to, instead of doing this, I want them to come over and simply frontline right over here. And they would offensive line like this. Just get in there. Okay, so we can call these guys into the war. We'll call all. Fantastic. We called everybody into this war. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to continue to attempt to press in down over this way. Now, supplies are not the best in the world, but we are definitely making some gains down here. Now, we've not set up any air superiority, and we absolutely should do that. So let's bring in some MiG-9s. And how many of these are we going to want to bring in? The answer is probably quite a lot. Where's our MiG-9? It's in here somewhere. I wish there was a search function. That would be awfully nice. Here it is. Okay, so we're going to bring in, say, 500 of them. And their goal is going to be to do air superiority over southern France. There we go. Now, I'm also going to create ourselves a new air wing here, and we're going to bring in some... How many close air support do we have available? Let's see. These are our jet tack bombers. I'm wondering about our modern close air support. We have 1,000. Okay. We're going to dedicate 500 to doing a close air support mission out over here, although they don't have the range. That's noted. So we're going to need to build an air base somewhere up over here. I'm going to build it in Catalonia. So we'll get that going. That'll be fine. Okay, France is still continuing to call people in. That's okay. They presumably have a giant backlog of supplies because they've been building up supplies this whole time, right? So supplies are... Oh, hello. We did not do this nuke on Marseille. Our allies did that. Okay, that's intriguing. We definitely have air superiority over southern France. France is not attempting to contest the skies. So that's interesting. Invisible ink has finished. Let's continue to upgrade our plastic explosives here. We've also got these divisions out over here. We can put them here for the time being. And we have a doctrine available. Sure, we'll grab Floating Fortress. That'll be absolutely fine. Okay, so we can see that there's something going on over here. The defender is currently winning. Oh, the French Commune is attempting to attack up over here. Awkward. Okay. Everybody wants to join our war. Hang on. The Sikh Empire wants to join this. As does Macron, Estonia, Belungan, Sambas, Kalat, Belarus, and Lithuania. Specifically against Senegal, I guess? I guess. Okay, well that'll be absolutely fine for the time being. We're going to continue to press in down over this way. We do need to get an airport done over here for our close air support purposes. So that'll be a thing. And we're also working on these railways, but that is a fairly slow working at this point. The airport, however... Oh, Luxembourg capitulated. Okay. So that's exciting. The French Commune is out over here. Yeah, this is to be expected. So these we can't get to, right? That's fine. We're attacking Oldenburg over here. Our troops haven't arrived here yet. The question is, where are they? Okay, they're over in China. They are a very, very long ways away indeed. That's fine. Nassau has capitulated. That's not surprising. And we are beginning to push in on this border. We are making gains. Fantastic. First things first, I want to update this naval base. Nope, I want to upgrade this naval base to level 10. Also, no, I don't want to select it. I'm trying to build the naval base. Maybe out over here. No, not there. Here. There we go. Okay, So next, we do have a airbase here. It's not a great airbase, but we have an airbase. So I want to grab our close air support units, which can't reach up over here, right? And I want them to move to this airbase, which, of course, is better located for them, but it's not big enough for that many planes. That's understood. It will continue to enlarge. Okay, we're making solid progress against the French lines. We've broken through their primary defenses on the mountains here, and this is looking very solid. We haven't broken them down in the east here, but in the west, we absolutely have. And that looks great. They're going to have a very, very hard time recovering from this, I think. More nukes going off in Marseille. Okay. That's very interesting out over here. I don't know who's doing that. That would definitely be good to know. We have so far not done any nukes. I just saw some stack wiping happening over here. Honestly, France is crumbling. That was a nuke on our territory. Very rude. Very, very rude indeed. And there's another one. Okay, no shockers there. Beautiful. How exactly are they doing this without an air force? Hang on. Ah, they have 100 planes out in the Western Mediterranean Sea. Okay, that's, you know, mildly awkward. I'm going to move these guys forward to Catalonia at this point. That airbase will still need to continue to grow, but that is absolutely fine. So we're making solid gains here. We are starting to lose a little bit of throughput here. It looks like we definitely need to update these railroad sections. That's fine. We can certainly do that. And these are going to be converted over, and we'll have access to a supply hub in Bordeaux. So that seems great. No problem whatsoever there. We're just continuing to push in here, and honestly, it seems like there's very little that France can do about this. We do need to let these supplies pick up over here. We might have a little bit of a hard time crossing this river. We'll see how that goes. But for the time being, really all we need here is this supply hub, right? We've got this one here. We can definitely bump up this railway connection, which we'll happily do. And in the meantime, we are still building a lot of things behind this, right? Our construction queue is absolutely enormous. It looks like we're going to cross the river at this bridge. That looks great. Really, really solid. Unless they manage to reinforce it, of course, which may end up happening, but that's okay. I want to check in on the air situation here. Okay, so they finally brought in some enemy fighters. Hilarious. I do want to check out the anti-air situation here. Yeah, let's get some anti-air guns in Aquitaine. That'll be helpful. And we should probably consider bumping up our number of fighter wings up over here. What are these guys? They have no mission assigned. What? You're supposed to be on air superiority up here. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to add in, and actually I'm not going to add more planes right now. I was thinking about adding more planes, but I'm not going to add more planes until this airbase gets a little stronger. That said, there's this airbase over in Aquitaine, and I would like to get that updated. So let's get going on that. Cool. So that seems fine for the moment. And what just happened? Dutch South Africa has capitulated. To whom? To French South Africa. Okay, sure. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. So these guys are ready to go. This armored division is going to go into our reserve force here. And I'm just checking to see if we've lost any units. So far, we have not. All of these guys are going to head in over here. Now, there's a dangerous naval invasion going on over here, apparently. Ah, they have managed to take over Ibzia. That's kind of remarkable. That is kind of remarkable. Okay, so I'm going to use this unit of Marines, and we're going to launch a naval invasion from here to here. And they'll get started on that as soon as they're ready. Okay, now how are things going over here? This is still awkward. Sure. These guys are, I'm sure, still a long ways away. Actually, they're not that far. They're getting pretty close. So that looks good. We'll get this dealt with, no problem whatsoever there. The real question here is, are we going to make it across this river, right? And then make it up to this next river here. That would definitely be a very useful thing to do. I'm wondering how close France is to capitulation at this point. Only 3%. Okay, fair enough. But honestly, France is not doing well here. to be perfectly frank. That was no pun intended. I apologize for that one. That was not great. We're going to upgrade these railroads for sure, and we're getting access to this supply hub now. That's looking solid. No issue whatsoever out over here. We just need to continue to press across here. It's mostly just a matter of getting, like, widening this front. We need to get a bit of a bulge going here, and to that end, I'm going to delete this order, and I'm going to change this offensive line order to simply being in front of this river, like so. I want a wider front here, because that will be quite beneficial to us. So something along the lines of that is our goal now. Okay, so we're going to press through over there. Now we have access to 17 nukes. We could use that to soften up their area here. I'm wondering what the air war is looking like here. They are losing planes remarkably quickly. Our planes are just better. Okay, beautiful. So that looks absolutely fine. The question is, can we get across this river anytime soon, right? We definitely have a supply issue down over here, and I'm wondering about the root of the supply issue. I think it's just that we need to finish up these hubs that we started. I think that's pretty much all it comes down to. So if we take a look at this, we can see Catalonia's, actually all of these are going to be done quite soon. That's looking solid. Catalonia's airbase is making gains as well, so no problem whatsoever here. We still have our close air support here. I'm going to put in 500 additional fighter units here. So these are going to be MiG-9s, and where are those? There we go. We'll get 500 of those, and they are going to go into air superiority, and for right now, we want them in southern France. We will change that later, but for the time being, southern France is where we want to be. We're just shooting down so many planes. So many planes. They probably have a lot built up, but we're chipping through those stocks. Excellent. They should be quite negative in their stockpile flow at this juncture. So that all looks good. Now, we're being attacked on this side at this moment. We're not really doing very much attacking. This is due to supply issues. I expect those supply issues to be solved relatively soon as we finish up some of these supply hubs. So that'll be okay. I do want to motorize this supply hub. That'll be fine. This supply hub down here is already motorized. Okay, we can motorize this. That'll take some of the pressure off of here. But really what we need to do is finish up these supply hubs, right? That is the big thing that needs to happen here. And some of them are finishing now. Specifically, this one just finished. Also, this railway needs to be upgraded. We'll get that going. So a couple of these supply hubs just finished. This guy needs to be motorized up. 50 out of 29. Okay, but that did pull some pressure off of here. So this supply hub is very, very overloaded at this time. We need to finish up these two hubs, and they will be done fairly soon. Are you motorized? You should be motorized. Okay. You should be motorized as well. You might be able to reach some of this. Okay. 53 out of 29 is not great. That's for sure. So we're still waiting on these to finish up. They should be done very, very soon, right? 13 April and 13 April. Okay, that is going to be very soon indeed. So that'll be fine. We are definitely going to improve our supply in this area. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, oh, look at this. We are successfully attacking into Oldenburg out over here at this point. Have these guys arrived? Yes, they have. That'll be why. Our soft attack over here should be more than enough to cause Oldenburg to capitulate, and that would be great. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and next episode, we're going to continue to carve into France. That kind of petered out, that outro. No doubt about that. We're going to continue into France. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members. Did I already? Okay, I'm very confused about the outro right now. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Atala, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time. That one was only mildly scuffed.